Hey everybody, this is Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. This video is called Stop Participating in Indoctrination. What I'm getting at is the public school system and the college system in the United States, the education system in general, has become a left-wing indoctrination system, plain and simple. It's where our children go to learn, supposedly. But man, in so many situations, and it's not every situation, but in so many situations, they're just going there to be indoctrinated into these leftist, Marxist, socialist, whatever ideals. They're not taught with the same moral structure and the same information that we want them to be taught. I want my children to be taught the truth. I don't want them to learn a skewed version of history where the Constitution is an antiquated, useless document. That's a load of crap. That's what makes us what we are and who we are, and ensures and protects our God-given freedoms and rights. History is being changed in these locations also. Just like in society, the tearing down of monuments, statues, stuff like that. History happened. We can't change it. Yet they're trying to destroy it. Because how do you change a society? How do you build and change a society into a socialist society or a Marxist society or communist or whatever? You have to delete the history, change the history. So people don't know where they came from. So they don't know how important freedom is to them. They lose sight of it. It's a slow process. That's why they're called progressives. It's not all at once. It's progressive. We are in the slowly boiling pot. They put us in when the water's cold and then turn up the heat underneath us. They threw us in when it was boiling, we'd all jump out and say, F that, where's my gun? I'm going to go do something about this. No, they're slowly boiling us. And they're doing a very good job at it right now. I got to give them credit. There will be a time when it'll be enough. It'll be too much. But, so what do we do about it? Because we know this is happening. In colleges, that a lot of people out there are paying their hard-earned money for their children to go get indoctrinated. So the children, if they manage to get them through, high school and not be indoctrinated little Marxists, if they manage to still be good people, they go off to college as good people. Then they come back 4 years later as indoctrinated little good Marxists or socialists, whatever you want to call it. They're fundamentally changing our nation by brainwashing our youth, taking away morality, changing it, where good is bad and bad is good, where sin and immoral activities are okay and they're accepted, and moral activities are boring and or wrong. I mean, it's happening. If you got to see it. So what do we do about it? I know not everybody has the capability, the ability to homeschool. But man, if you do, or if you can, please homeschool your kids. You can give them much better education in most situations than a school system can. And there's a lot of good homeschooling curricula that you can choose from that is oriented along your faith, your moral values, your political values, etc. I don't want to brainwash my child my direction either, even though I feel what I believe is right. I want my children exposed to other ideals and other concepts. That's fine. But when a textbook in school spends, say, for example, I forget the exact numbers, but say a page and a half, 2 pages on Christianity from a historical aspect, which I'm totally fine with, teaching faith, not faith, but teaching about different religions in a historical concept, the historical time frame, the historical mindset. My brain. Approaching it from a historical aspect. That's what I'm trying to say. But when you spend 2 pages on Christianity in general, all of it, and then you spend 6 pages on Islam, and there have been textbooks I've heard, I haven't verified myself, so I'm not sure, but from what I've heard, there have been verified reports of textbooks in the United States that have statements regarding that Islam is the only true faith, the one and only true God, or something like that, which is not okay. If you are of the Islamic faith, then that is what you believe in. That is fine. You have that right. Just as you have the right to be Christian, one of the many denominations of Christian, or any other faith in this country. And that, I believe and stand by, should be protected 100%. But you shouldn't teach any one religion over any other religion, or spend any more time, equal time, sure, from a historical aspect. I'm totally fine with that. I want my children learning about different faiths. I think it's interesting to learn about different faiths. I find it very fascinating to see what other people believe, how they believe, what their structure is, what their beliefs are, what their morality is, all that kind of stuff. It's really cool, I think. I'm open-minded though when it comes to that. I'm not sitting here going, you gotta do this, you're gonna burn in hell forever. I'm not like that. But anyway, not even just talking about the faith side, the historical side they change. This new math that's just dumbing people down, it's just stupid. If you want to add 2 numbers, just put one over the top of the other one and add them. If you want to multiply them, just put one over the top of the other one and multiply it. It doesn't take 50-step process to multiply a number. I'm sorry. And all the history and all the social aspects of it, and oh man, don't even get me started on the sex ed stuff. Oh my gosh, they're warping the minds of our children and starting sexual education at ages that I feel are way too young to comprehend some of the stuff they're teaching. I get some of the ideas and some of the concepts behind why they want to teach children some of the stuff at a younger age. I understand that a lot of it is their approach is that they're trying to let children know from a young age that it's not okay for somebody to touch them in their private areas. I'm 100% behind that, but that is the parents' job to do, not the schools. It's not the school's job to teach them anything about that. That is very private, very personal, and is something a family should deal with. Does the family always deal with it? No. Unfortunately, the lack of parenting in this country is why the government has to step in a lot of situations, and why the government gets involved in our lives is because people don't take care of their own business. So I encourage you guys to step up, take care of your own business, teach your children. I'm sure you guys already are. You guys are good people here. I know for the most part, every one of you is, I don't know that much about you. Sure, you could be a bad person, sure. But I'm sure you're teaching your kids about things like that. It's not okay for somebody to touch them in these areas, stuff like that. I'm sure that you're teaching them important things in life also, like I talk about prepping, involving your children in preparedness. That can be a homeschooling lesson. prepping, a lot of different prepping things can apply to homeschooling lessons. Children can get, and a lot of people say also negatives about homeschooling, that the kids don't get the socialization they need. That's not true. If they go to school and they sit in a classroom for 8 hours a day, whatever it is nowadays, who are they interacting with? Who are they getting interaction with? Kids their age, exactly their age, and a teacher, maybe teacher's aide, something like that. Out on the playground for maybe a half hour, I don't know how long these things are now. They're getting interaction with kids of various ages. Yes, true. But when you're homeschooling, your children are getting interaction with you. They're getting interaction with the other children in your home. They're getting interaction with other kids of varying ages from homeschooling groups. They're getting interaction at a faith-based activity, church, and other homeschooling related stuff from your church, hopefully. They're getting exposed to field trips to the local fire department, the local police department, the local library, local sporting events, sports teams. There's so much, so they get exposed to a wider variety of age groups of kids and adults, young adults, all these things. So they can actually get better socialization than they can at school. Plus, as a parent, I understand, yes, we want our children exposed to the world. We don't want to cloister them and have them ineffective as adults when they go out into the world on their own. But we still care about our children. We still want to kind of control and kind of mitigate some of the bad influence in the world. I don't want my child going to public school for lots of different reasons. For the indoctrination aspect, big time. For the lack of morals, the immorality, big time. Drugs, sex, inappropriate acts, inappropriate language, inappropriate behavior, all these things. That yes, I went to public school, but when I went to public school, it was a lot different. The moral degradation hadn't gotten anywhere near as bad as it is today. Where like these parents are taking their kids on these peaceful protests that are riots and a bunch of thugs. They're teaching their kids to walk around holding signs, say F the police. And these little 2 and 3 year olds are spouting it. They're yelling F the police at 2 and 3 years old. Really? I'm sorry, this is kind of a rant now. Please think about removing your children from the public indoctrination system, including universities. There's a lot of good trade schools out there. There are some conservative colleges also, yes. I'm just asking you guys to please think about the option. You guys may not be able to do it. I don't know, just please, from the bottom of my heart, think about it. Talk with your spouse about it. Talk with your kids about it. Something. And if your kids are older, or been in school for a while, they may be opposed to it. I don't know. But really, it can be a really good thing for them. They can receive an excellent education. My children that are homeschooled score in the 99.9th percentile in almost every single category in state testing. But their mother is educated, has a master's degree. I have a bachelor's degree. We are educated adults. We are articulate. We are positive, upstanding members of society with a lawful, moral, ethical code steeped in our faith also. It's just something to think about, please, people. I just ask you to think about it. See what you can do about it. See how you feel about it. Just keep it in your mind. It's something that we need to think about. We need to talk about. So, prep a little every day. Prep with a peace of mind out of fear. I love you guys a lot, and I care about you guys. This is why I'm talking about things like this. Have a wonderful day, and blessings to you and yours.